How you doing, fam? I got something I want to talk to y'all about. I need for y'all to help me make a decision. This conversation is going to be about reincarnation. Y'all get your bootstraps on because this right here is going to be a real ride, okay? Please take your time and listen to me. Please do not leave this video. Listen to it to the end. I swear to God, this is going to bless you, and it's going to prove that when we die, we just start over, like we truly reincarnate. Please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video if you have lost a loved one. I think this is why this is coming to me, because this is for people who have lost loved ones. We are not sitting in a realm where we used to sit because of the earth moving. We're now in 5D, so a lot of us don't see the same. And the way I see where thought comes from. If you can go with me into the spirit realm. Now on my channel, my stuff is deep. My stuff is for advanced people. Because the reason I say advanced is because you have to have a childlike mind in order to get what I'm saying. Not mean you got to be childish, but you got to be able to pretend. You got to be able to go into your imagination. This is vital if you want to see what they call a veil. So say it's really not a veil. It's just how you're focusing. So because you don't know what to look at, you think it's not there. But on my channel, I teach you how to see. The only way I can get you to see is to make you use your imagination, because if you stick to the rule, everything is thought. Nothing exists that can exist will not exist unless it comes from thought. Meaning you are thought, I am a thought, okay? We are a well put together thought. And because the all is mind, meaning that we are in the mind of God. Now, if you can imagine yourself as breath, as energy, as frequency, as emotion, as vibration, as elemental elements like the wind. You can imagine yourself like fire. If you can imagine yourself like all of the minerals of the earth, you are not solid, okay? This is just a shell. So on my channel, what I do is I tell you to go in your imagination and create a healing center. This is so vital on my channel. This healing center is meant to bless you as above, so below. Because I'm living in the spiritual realm and I'm giving you these instructions, you're going to get heavenly rewards. So when you create this healing center, you take all of your negative feelings, all of your bad memories, all of the stuff that holds you down, and we're going to call it bondage. Y'all, please do not go nowhere and stay with me on here. So this bondage is what's holding you down, what's making you have low self-esteem, that's making you want to hurt the next person. You know what I'm saying? This bondage is designed to destroy us. And bondage is bad words, y'all. Bondage is words that destroy us, words that kick us down, words that plant seeds that make us dwell on the negative. Well, y'all, I'm here to tell y'all we're gonna have to cancel that, because if you can practice taking all of your negativity every day and put it in the healing center. Imagine yourself coming out of your skin and you're letting this bodysuit heal. Meaning if you got an ailment, if you got cancer, if you got anything going on with you that is not of God, that is not life-giving, you're sending it to the healing center, because for one, you don't have the power to make something not be. If it is, it is. Like, you can't get rid of the bad thoughts, you can't get rid of the bad memories. It happened. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back in the past and redo it. But what you're going to do is you're not going to let that thing get life in it and make you become a slave to it. Meaning it controls your everyday, it controls your fun time, it controls your downtime, it controls your daydreaming time, it controls your dream time, it controls your mood time. It controls you. Like, you become a slave to that bondage, to whatever that bondage is for you. You become a slave to it. And so what it does is it creates a mood, and when you're in a bad mood, you're creating death. Death is what moods are what create death. Okay, this is how we die easy, when we always stand in a bad mood. So you're going to take your body and you're going to put it in a healing center, because everything that's going on with you is not in your power, right? So we know that we have a smart body. If you can just separate in your imagination, just for the sake of getting this message, put that body up there and let God deal with your flesh. Let him deal with the things that you can't deal with, the things that is heavy, the things that you consider burdens. Send them to the healing center, but don't get mad at them. Don't cuss them out. Don't feel like you want to destroy them. Look at them like some real damaged children, like some real abused kids that just didn't get a good deal. So this is how you gonna look at your negative parts of you, the parts that you call dark, the parts that you think that got you holding on to bad stuff and got you acting out of character, got you feeling like you don't have no peace. You're going to, in your mind, arrest them. You're going to create beings inside of yourself that is going to search far and wide, and you're going to arrest them in your imagination. But when you get them, you're taking them to the healing center, and they're going to the healing center to be redeemed. Right? You can't take the memory of being abused away. So what you want to do is you want to soothe it, you want to heal it, and you want it to be healed by God. Therefore, when it comes to you, it'll be a lesson. It'll be a strength that you can use to uplift the next person that's being abused, because it no longer have that effect on you. What it did, it made you stronger, and it gave you a story to tell. Like, have you ever heard people say, you can't tell me nothing if you ain't been through it? And so a lot of people look at that. So that's why a lot of us go through things, because you gonna meet somebody that's going through something, and so you got a need to meet. Like, we can only help each other. So God worked through us to help each other. But you gonna put their body in the healing suit, and you're gonna leave it alone, and you're just going to be breath. And so when you're just breath, you're able to roam around, you're able to be free. Now in the spiritual realm, you got to look at things that are that you would consider not real as real, meaning a cup, a table, a spoon, a chair, this headboard, you know what I'm saying, these butterflies on this shirt. All this stuff could give me a message, because when you're out of the skin suit, you are what God is. You was made in his image, right? So meaning, now that you're out of your skin suit, everything that sees you sees God. So they're going to give you the same respect that it gives God. But you got to know this, and you got to crystallize this in your thinking to get respect. And so what happens, the respect that you gain because of your crystallized thinking, things start activating around you, and things wake up. And the reason these things activate is because all of your loved ones that was ever alive, all of the people that was ever alive, okay, when you say we're wrestling against principalities like spirits of the air, y'all, do you know thought goes out, feelings go out, vibrations go out? So it's going in the atmosphere. The reason we're considered rich, you should never consider yourself poor, is because the atmosphere is full of thought, y'all. Words are alive in the spirit realm. Words have personality, character traits, and you can talk to them like people, because these words are what put the world together. Like, you got to give the words they prop. It didn't take hands, it didn't take sweat, it didn't take work. That's why God made the punishment of man got to work from the sweat of his brow, and he got to do this and he got to do that. But y'all, he was only saying we need to think. You could pop a vein thinking you, but we thought that mean you got to be on back breaking, bleeding, and all that stuff. But it's for the intellect to get it. It's the Bible is not literal. It's so psychological. But being in this thought form, you can actually see objects as being alive, because these things are recognizing you as God. So if God walked down here in spirit form, everything down here would activate. Everything would praise him. The dirt, the grass, the trees, the potato chip bag on the ground, the Coca-Cola can on the ground. Wouldn't nothing be still? All the cars on the streets will be honking and blowing and jumping up and down and moving. The radio will be going in all the car. Everything would be praising God. Do you know you hold that type of power, but you got to believe enough in order to activate it? Like, it's not gonna happen if you put the grown person in there. Like, the grown person tell you, oh, that ain't real, that's some child's play, don't do that, don't do that. But if you remember, when you were little, you used to make believe with the dumbest little things. You say, this the mama, this the daddy, this the little girl, this the little boy, and you would make that little thing talk. You would put a sock on your hand and make it talk. Well, if you can go back to that, then you can see beyond the veil. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I want to prove to you that everything that I say on my channel is real. Everything that I talk about is true. Everybody knows that I am a heart transplant recipient, and I turned 12 years old this year. I will be 13. Now, back in 2002, February 22nd, 2002, I had a daughter. I had a little girl, and she was born with half of a heart. So she didn't make it. She died 5 days later. Now, fast forward up to the future tense. My son is having a baby, and he wants to name his baby after my little girl, and he asked for a picture. When I pulled this picture of her out, because we only got a few of them, it flew up under the table. Now, every time you move, you creating a segment. Every time you go do something, you are creating a moment. You're creating a time where a lesson can be learned. You know what I'm saying? Every time you do something, you never know what you do that put an imprint on you. But because that picture fell out my hand and it went up under the table, I had to bend down, reach under the table and get it. It made me look at the picture. So when I looked at the picture, I noticed that I was standing in front of a purple heart that was on the wall. So in the background, it was this huge purple heart, and I had on a Paco shirt. Y'all remember Paco? But it had orbit on it. It had 11 stripes going down the arm. They were like reflectors, and the shirt was orange, and the clock said 11. It was 11 o'clock. So there was 11 o'clock on the clock, and it was 11 stripes on my arm. That makes 11:11. And everybody knows when you see 11:11, that's God saying the floodgates are open. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you. Ask me for what you want. It's like an angel number. It's all about you. What do you need? Come on and talk to me. So if you ever see your clock and you just so happen to randomly, not on purpose, but randomly look at your clock and it's 11:11, you got 60 seconds to run your mouth. So get it right. So at this time, when I get the picture, I noticed the purple heart. So that purple heart kind of stuck with me. Next thing I know, purple hearts start showing up everywhere I wanted to move. When I was getting ready to move, I didn't know if it was a good idea. It was the first day of school, and it was right before COVID hit. and it was only one parking space. And when we got the parking space, you know where it says handicap, instead of it being a handicap sign, it said Purple Heart. Well, they had named my daughter's high school a Purple Heart High School. That was a sign for me. And I was like, Purple Heart, I seen a Purple Heart on my daughter's picture. So now, being me who I am, I started paying attention, because the things that repeat itself is a living word. God says follow the living word, and it's not per se the Bible, but the living word is in your ear, it's in your heart, it's living in your life, and he will pick a word that you would recognize, and you follow this word, because this word transforms and morphs. So watch how many times this Purple Heart morphs, right? So first I'm seeing it on the picture. That's the first thing. After I see it on the picture, I'm realizing that it's on the sign in the parking space. So I'm like, okay, that's the second time I seen that. And then they named the city a Purple Heart City. So I said, okay, that's 3 Purple Hearts. That might mean I don't need to go nowhere. Maybe I need to sit still. I start paying attention to that. So next thing you know, it was Christmas. Christmas had rolled around in 2020. And I had lost my father. And I went to a Waffle House for Christmas. No, this was the year before I lost my father. Let me back up. I'm sorry, y'all. I want this story to be as truthful as possible. So, Holy Spirit, please let me get every detail right, so your people can get this message. If this is about reincarnation, okay? So, it was the Christmas before my father died. The Christmas before my father died, I didn't cook, and we needed to eat. So we went to 3 restaurants, and all 3 restaurants were packed. The waiting, it was just too long. So we said, we'll just go to Waffle House. I said, I don't want no Waffle House. I'm sick of Waffle House. Notice when you're fussing sometimes, when you in resistance sometimes, start paying attention when you find yourself fussing about something, because something is about to happen. Anytime a negative pop up, it's a positive around. I'm trying to teach y'all about energy, how to track it, and how not to flip out all the time. So I didn't want to go to Waffle House. I said no, but my kids was like, but it doesn't matter what we eat, as long as we be together. It's Christmas, so we can go ahead and do. I'm like, I got my mind right real quick. Them children checked me. And I started seeing that I was being ugly. And if I would have kept on, I would have made everybody have a bad day. We had to eat. So as I'm sitting in there, I'm not sitting in Waffle House 5 minutes, y'all. This family comes into the Waffle House, and they have an older gentleman with him. He looked like he may be in his late 70s. He was a Caucasian guy. He was really old, and he had on an entire Purple Heart suit. Y'all, I want y'all to pay attention to this Purple Heart, y'all. Please pay attention to this Purple Heart. So this veteran, and pay attention to how the Purple Heart keep flipping into stuff. This veteran was a Purple Heart vet. This man had on the Purple Heart Award. He had on the Purple Heart hat. Looked like his family had got him the t-shirt made. He had a fresh jacket with the beautiful Purple Heart symbol in it. The t-shirt had all these vivid colors in there, y'all. I felt like the whole heaven, along with my little girl, was telling me Merry Christmas. I broke down in Waffle House, and I wanted to go hug the man, but my family had to hold me down. They were like, maybe just for you to see, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes they have to control me, because I get so emotional, because they know how to see like I see, because I can't have this and don't teach it to my house and then give it to y'all. So I give it to the people in my house first and around me, and when I see that it works for them, now I'm sharing it with the world, you can also see this way. So you see how my daughter keeps morphing into this purple heart. She turned into a purple heart on the wall. She turned into a handicap sign that is now a purple heart city sign. She turned into a vet, and she turned into the award, like she was showing me the award. So every time I see a purple heart, I am connected to her. Like she pops up. And so this purple heart is a word. Purple heart is actually two words, but they go together. Purple heart. And so this word morphs, and everywhere I go I see this word. So because I'm in the spirit realm and my flesh is in the healing center getting done whatever work it needs to be done, and I'm roaming out here, purple heart is my friend. Purple heart cares about me. Purple heart now is a watcher. Purple heart now is a guide. Purple heart now is a marker to let me know that I'm on the right path. Don't think that I'm not doing good enough. If you see me, that means you straight. You right where you supposed to be. It's no mistake that you're here. Y'all, when I look up, I noticed that I can be on Purple Heart Highway. I didn't know I traveled down Purple Heart Highway for years. I never knew until one day I looked over and I saw Purple Heart Highway on the wall. I've been in I think it's Tennessee. I went to Tennessee and I was going down a Purple Heart Drive. I noticed that everywhere my husband goes, like to buy his parts, because he's a mechanic and he travels everywhere. When I start looking up, y'all tell me why there was a Purple Heart billboard everywhere. But these Purple Heart billboards are coming in as Care Source Medicaid. You see what I'm saying? But who don't need insurance from heaven? Who don't need that type of care? It's Care Source. Your source cares. You don't get no better source than care. And y'all, I'm a heart transplant recipient. So I see these purple hearts. Now, let me tell y'all what happened to me today. And this is all about reincarnation. It's about the purple heart. It's about my daughter. And her name was Nadia, by the way. And she was born February 22nd, 2002. Now, I talked to my son today, and he was telling me about a girl that he met on his job that he don't work at anymore. We hadn't been talking for about a year, and so we now have started getting reacquainted. So he keeping me up on game, like what he been up to and everything. So I'm enjoying just hearing him talk, just to hear his voice was like melting my soul, just to know that he's okay. He sounds strong. He sounds like he got it together. You know what I'm saying? So he was telling me about this girl on his job. So he said across the street from his job is a billboard. Now I told y'all I gave this juice to my household first before I let this juice go out. Because if you can't run your household, you ain't got no business out on the battlefield. So I bless my kids with sight. Everybody in my house can see my husband, my kids, my brothers, my closest friends. Like they can see. Now I'm giving y'all the sauce. But every day he came to work, he seen a billboard across the street, and the billboard had all tools on it. So we know that when we see all tools out of the blue, we know that Nadia is riding with us. She's with us. She's saying, yeah, we coming. I'm here. And whenever a purple heart shows up, she's into the purple hearts, right? So he said the girl, he was working there. The girl, she started working there. So when she seen him, she started calling him brother. She kept saying, you my brother, right? And my son like, nah, I ain't none of your brother. She said, yes, you are my brother. I'm telling you, you're my brother. And so my son is like, nah, you got me mixed up with somebody else. And then she said, no, I know who I'm talking to. She said, you my brother. And so she told my son, she said, we were supposed to grow up together. So my son said he just got chills, right? He just started like feeling vibrations all in him. Y'all, when he was telling me this story, tears started falling out my eyes. I started feeling the vibrations. I started feeling the hairs on the back of my neck. I started shaking on the inside. Her presence. That was her presence. And look at the beauty of how this story unfolds, y'all. So he talking to the girl, and she's like, I'm your sister. And he was like, no, you ain't my sister. And she was like, we were supposed to grow up together. He said, stop playing with me, Shawty. He said, you know, I'm into the spirit realm. Like, I'm with it. He said, and I ain't slow. He said, but don't play with me about stuff like that. I take stuff serious, right? He said, man, you only knew who my mama is. He said, man, you know who my mama is? And so she said, like, no, I don't know who your mama is. So he said he looked at her because he felt like she was being sarcastic. Like, she was saying, how I don't know who our mama is. Like, that's the vibration he got. So he got away from her, like, to try to get out of the way. Because, y'all, when you're in the presence of the divine, when I tell you, you gotta walk away because it feel like you gonna blow up, because the power of the Holy Ghost, the Spirit, when you in that realm, you don't have skin, right, to bounce off that vibration. So you are that whole vibration. So whatever the truth is hitting you. Like, can't no lie affect you in the spirit realm. It's all true. So that's why you feel like that on the inside. It feels scary, it feels creepy, it feels spooky, but at the same time mysterious, and like you might want to investigate it, but then that is like a warning, but then it's like a so it's like one of them feelings. So that's all the stuff that he was going through in the presence of the girl. So he tried to get away from her. The girl just kept following him around. So she just kept saying, my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother. Y'all, my brother needed my brother, my brother, my brother. He said she was killing my brother so much that it was drilling him. Now, I told y'all, when words repeat itself, they are a lie, because you are in the spirit realm. When you keep practicing this, you stuck like that. Like, you know how to see, you can't unsee. So you is no veil for you for the rest of your dying, to the day you die. I often say your dying days. You ain't got no dying days, but up until you leave here, you're going to see like that. And so he was telling the girl, like, you know, he had to stop her because she kept on saying, brother, brother, brother. But y'all, when the word keep on repeating itself, look at that, brother, 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 my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother. Then it started to irritate you. The word is brother. You need to pay attention to brother. Brother is speaking right now. Brother is the messenger. Brother is what you need to focus on. And she's telling you, you're my brother. And so y'all, I'm sitting here with tears in my eyes. And so he said, after he calmed down, he looked at her. He thought about it. Then he said, when your birthday? And she told him February 22nd, 2002. He really got the shaking. Then he was like, what's your name? Y'all, my daughter's name was Nadia. Hers sound like Nadia, but it has a O in it. Now, he got the billboard outside where he been talking to Nadia all day long, right? Then he got this girl in there with the same birthday, the same name, you might as well say. She's telling him that I'm your brother. We were supposed to grow up together. Like, silly, I do know who your mama is, right? You can't deny when God is speaking to you because the word is personal, right? So while he was sitting here telling me this story, y'all, look what I was drawing. I want to show y'all something. You can see what I was drawing. I was drawing hearts. I was drawing purple hearts. I was trying to figure out what to name my metaphysical center, and see that heart right there with the heartbeat going on. Like both of us had heart issues. She was born with a half of a heart. I had to get my heart replaced. She is the one that opened up my eyes and got me seeing, like with this purple heart thing. I know that the purple heart is her. I know it's a watcher. I know it goes back and report to God. When I go to the hospital and they be talking that crazy stuff, y'all, I got a purple heart ready for me every time I go. And not only do I have a purple heart, I have a sunflower, I have a silver star, I have a number 3. Like little things like this protect me. Little things like this watch over me. Little things like this make sure I get the divine help that I need. So when my doctors are giving me these death words, I can't focus on what they saying because I'm seeing too much glory right here. Check out my sunflower might come through there. It might be a nurse. I had a nurse with a tattoo of a sunflower on the elbow. For some reason, people don't start getting sunflowers tattooed on their elbow, and they're using 3D ink. Look like you can dang near pick the dang on sunflower up, right? So the number 3, I was on the 3rd floor. Every room I went in, I was in the 3rd room. Every machine I went on, I was on the 3rd machine. Like the 3 was very protective of me. I'm in my 3rd rejection. You see what I'm saying? So I don't freak out because I have things to focus on that other people would think that isn't, because I'm in tune with the living word. I understand what the living word is. So y'all, long story short, I made this video because I know where my baby at. Like, she's 20 years old. That's how old my daughter would be. She would be getting ready to turn 21 next year. This girl was born at the same time my daughter was born. So now I'm trying to figure out the transfer of the souls. Like, how do souls work? Because my daughter was born on the 22nd of February. She was born on the 22nd of February 2002. They got the exact same birthday. But my daughter went to surgery on the 27th, right? And she passed on the 27th. Now, this is the kicker. When I was pregnant with her, I was seeing my grandmother, and my grandmother passed when I was 15. My grandmother was telling me that I'm finna have a baby, and my baby is going to be sick, and this is the test. God's testing you now, right? Long story short, kind of find out, I prayed for God to take her, because I had to watch her chest open. I watched my baby heart beating. I watched her heart stop beating. I watched them stick their finger inside her chest. And I was like, nobody don't deserve this. And with her being born with a half of a heart, this was new. Nobody knew what to do. Just like I'm in rejection right now, nobody knows what to do. But I'm going to be saved because of me following the word. When you follow the word, you say from accidents, sickness. I'm like, you can't die. Like, I done died 5 times, y'all. I tell my story on here. But when you coming in that realm, stuff don't bother you. So being this closely connected with her, y'all, I know I'm good. So while I'm sitting here saying I'm going to name my place Purple Heart Metaphysics or Purple Heart Alchemy, I'm just playing with the Purple Heart. He's sitting here telling me about her. And I'm sitting here thinking about her and me having this heart thing and coming. So when I look up the name Nadia, right? It means messenger of God, God's messenger. And when I was pregnant with her, my dead grandmother was leading me and guiding me and telling me stuff about her. And I kept asking my grandma, she's gonna die, she's gonna die. Like, why does she have all them tools in her? And she said, well, if the baby live or die, it's good. Either way, it's good. Are you good? That's what she kept asking me. I'm like, why are you asking me that? But I found out that my test was I going to be angry with God if he took my baby? Was I going to not serve him anymore because he took my baby? Was I going to be selfish enough to want to keep my baby here? Because she's going to have to go through like 4 more surgeries. I couldn't see me taking that precious little sweet baby through that. So look, the whole time while I'm going through this, right? When I had her, my stomach never lost form. The doctors was worried that I myself was sick because my stomach never went down. Y'all, when she finally passed, after I said my prayer and I said, God, you can take her. Like, don't do this to her. She don't deserve this. You know what I'm saying? Give her a new body, give her a new life, however you see fit. But this, no. I would not bring her back to this place. I would not have her get well, get back on that table. She ain't did no wrong to nobody. And I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay, but I'm not going to be okay if my baby got to go through this. And I didn't know I was doing the right thing, y'all. So when she passed, I had this pain in my stomach. And I had to run to the bathroom, y'all. And this was before my mother died. My mother went to the bathroom with me. And y'all, I was in labor. I was in labor. But my baby was laying right there on the table. And while I was in labor, I was reminded that when they wheeled her off to the surgical room, and I looked in her eyes, it was like a blank stare in her eyes, and something said, that's not your baby. That's not your baby. So the whole time, while I'm waiting on her to get out of surgery, I'm saying, so is this a shell having a surgery? Is this my baby having a surgery? Y'all, I didn't know how to feel, right? So when she passed and I started having these pains, me and my mom, we go to the bathroom. Y'all, tell me why. Something said push. I pushed one time and my water broke. All that water went over the floor and my stomach went completely flat. Then I heard a voice say, now you've had your baby, right? Now, here it is, 2022. Look at this. 2022. I'm already being led by the Purple Hearts. I'm sitting here drawing my sign of the Purple Hearts, trying to come up with what I want to name my metaphysical place, because I want to teach people how this gift works and to show people that you can do the same thing. And my son called me and tell me about this. So y'all, I want to know, since I know where my daughter is, like you can't tell me that ain't my child. You can't deny all the evidence I gave you. And my son is surrounded by it. Like, he's surrounded by it. This is 2022. Still the tools showing up. Should I go see her? Should I meet her? Like, if you had a chance to meet a loved one that had been reincarnated and you knew it for a fact and you knew exactly where they were, would you go see them? Like, I don't want to bother her. I don't want to freak her out. But it seemed like she know. It seemed like she know. And she had to tell my son. You know, some of us be born with our past life memories. My son doesn't work there anymore, but he told me where the job was and he told me where the girl was. So he just told me this a few hours ago, y'all. I done cried. I have thank God for these eyes. I have thank God that he let me in on the realm, on the how it really is. Like, she's not gone nowhere, and it proves how God can be here and there and here and there, and you got the same dang on ability. So she's guiding me. She's my guardian angel. She's my guider. She's the Purple Heart. That's my watcher, my friend. That's the one who get me where I need to go. Y'all, I can go to Miami and turn around on the dang Purple Heart Lane. I can be in the grocery store in Chicago and it's a little girl to walk up to me with a Purple Heart shirt and be like, hey, lady. That's how she does me, right? So she's that for me, and she's that girl in that place, and she knows it. So is it against the rules to go see her? Would you go see your child if you knew your child had been reincarnated into somebody else? Because this is somebody else, baby. I don't want to disrupt nothing. I had my time with her. I think she was sitting here, like her name says, she's a messenger. She came here to give me a message, tell me get myself together, and that's what it did. My grandmother was hanging around. She was telling me to get myself together. I kept asking my grandma, where I'm gonna bury her at if she passed. She said, bury her next to me, bury her next to me. I'm like, how I'm gonna bury her next to you, y'all? When I bury her, baby land is right next to my grandmother, so she's literally right next to my grandma. And then my aunt called me because my family is full of seers. So my aunt called me. She didn't even know my baby died. And she told me she had a dream about mama. My grandmother was her mother, my dad's sister. And she said, I dreamed she had a baby with her and she was going in the grave with the baby. What's going on? And it was my baby. So I knew she had my baby. So you see all this, if you come out of your breath, if you stop worrying about this flesh, stop worrying about what tribe you come from. Oh my God. I get so tired of hearing about these people saying, I'm an Israelite, I'm a Hebrew, I'm a Jew, I'm a this, I'm a that. You ain't nothing. You're nothing. Do you know you have to get to know nothing in order to get something? Like you got to learn how to hang in the nothing place in order to get your something out of there. Thoughts got legs. Everybody think the universe is rich with thoughts. If you only knew you can reach up and grab a thought and create something. That's why when you come up with an idea and you don't jump on it, hell, 2 weeks, 3, maybe a couple months later, you see the Willie down the street got your idea. Cause he went up in the sky and he grabbed the idea. They just floating around. We're in a rich universe. That's why you should never call yourself poor, because thoughts don't go anywhere. It's just depending on where your frequency is, what are you broadcasting, and what are you picking up. So what do I pick up? I pick up dead messages. The people that done died, like all of the martyrs, all of the people that died to get this information out, I can still hear them. I run into them. I could prove it. I could prove y'all everybody that I done talked to, but you gotta hang on my channel to get to know my proof. So y'all, I'm gonna get off of here because I might have been talking too long, and I done said enough. But I'm wondering, like, if you had the opportunity to see your passed on child or loved one, and you knew that they were reincarnated into another being, and you knew for a fact, and you knew where they was, you knew you could go see them, would you go? Is it meant? And I'm like, it wouldn't be meant for me to see if she wasn't with my son. It wasn't meant for me to know, because he wouldn't be able to tell me if it wasn't meant for me to know. So, y'all, I want to go see her. Like, she's 20 years old. That's how old my baby would be. Like, I want to go see her. Like, I want to know what she looked like. And then he told me she was hairy. He said that's one thing that stuck out. Like, she got a lot of hair. Y'all, my baby had hair all down here. They had to shave her forehead. Like, she had so much hair. She had hair on her arms, her back. She scared me. She was so hairy. And her hair on her head was so thick, and these big old thick curly locks. I was like, no wonder I had so much heartburn. But y'all, I'm reborn. I come from that realm. I come from where the dead things are. My heart was given to me by a person that died. It's no coincidence I received my heart February 21st, 2010. A person died on that same day, and I received life on the day that a person was dying, and I was about to die too. So this why I want y'all to hang on my channel, so you can get stuff like that. If you strong enough to handle the truth, which is you are everything that I'm saying. You are what I'm saying. I'm just on my channel. I teach you how to be the real you. Stop running from the things that go bump in the night, and see why it's saying bump in the night, and why it feel like it can bump in the night in your spot. Like, you gotta become aware. Stop being flesh. So now that the lesson is over, and I've asked my questions. I want to see how many people really took the time to listen to this, and how many people want to know more, and how many people at least leave a dang on comment, because I just told you something. I just let you in on a secret that you didn't even know about. Your church don't even teach you stuff like this. Y'all, I'm a heart transplant patient. Well, recipient. I'm not gonna call myself a patient. I've been places on record. I done coded 5 times, and every time I can remember my near-death experiences, I bring something back. So this is for you new death experience people. I can even explain that process. So if you want to know more, because you waking up, we in 5D. The little things that's going on inside of you is coming out, and you ain't got no choice. So you need to find a seer so you can see. My gift is sight. I give sight to the blind. You see how much I just gave you? And thank the Purple Heart. One Purple Heart gave me all that information for y'all. And y'all, that ain't even the gist of it. That's just a little bit. That Purple Heart is serious. That Purple Heart is alive. But I know what my baby is. Like, I want to cry. It goes to show that energy doesn't die. It just morphs. It transforms. But it never changed. It never changed what it is. The word will always remain the word. You see how that Purple Heart changed into all this stuff and what all it mean. And it's just the Purple Heart. The word didn't change. But look at all that life in that one word. Y'all got more than that one word. You got a slew of words looking to be your friends, looking to be your guides and help you along your path so your life won't be so hard. I don't know what to do. Y'all tell me, like, what do you think I should do? I got so many emotions in me. Like, I know where my daughter is. Like, what? I know where she is, and I get to see her. Like, I get to see her. She's not my baby, she's somebody else's baby, but she's been so much to me. And for her to tell my son, I'm your sister, we were supposed to grow up together, silly. Like, dude, you should know. Like, you see the sign in front of you. Man, I want y'all to have experiences like this. It's beautiful in the spirit realm. I love you, and I hope this helps someone that has lost a loved one. Please know that they are around. You just gotta get help. You gotta know how to see them. See, she ain't dead. Then I just proved my daughter is very much alive. She more alive than me. What do I do? Do I go see her? Do I go see my daughter? Because I know exactly where she is. And can my eyes take it? Can my heart take it? Just knowing this information, y'all, I can't contain myself. So just with the knowing, I can't handle it. Like, I'm proud of myself. I hung in there with God. I didn't let go, and this my reward myself. The scales got removed from my eyes. I woke up from the sleep, and now I see how it really is. Y'all, please comment, like my video, help me get this out there. We're hurting, and we need each other. We need each other, and I'm here for you. If you got a question, you need to know something about your gift. I don't care what it is. If you think it's the stupidest thing to ask, I have nothing but the time I have been allowed to. And I have been given a second chance at life. So y'all, it's my pleasure to help you. It's my pleasure to answer your questions. It's my pleasure to help you spend time with your creator and the universe and the elements. Y'all, God is too small of a word, because in the Hermetics, he's the all. He's everything. So to me, God is little. He bigger than that. Okay, I'm finna go for real this time, y'all, because I feel like crying. Tell me what y'all think I should do, please. I love you.